Yeah.
Alright, dogs are fed. Got myself some Maccas as well. And it's a terrible day and there's people down at the beach swimming. There they are, what are they doing? It's all gloomy, it's a terrible day. And I'm kind of scared to have a sip of this because McDonald's are notoriously known for melting your lips off. So, ain't that bad, that's once off. It's turned into a McDonald's review video. Okay, so going back into some of the symptoms, obviously different for everyone. I've probably mentioned this several times now, but yeah, everyone experiences it differently because it's all depending on where the brain is damaged and all this other stuff, you know. We're just like a functioning machine, and certain things go wrong in other areas and it affects different parts of the line. So like some of the main things, I think this one actually carries over to many people because I've heard this one as like a pretty big symptom. Well, like fatigue for one, like super fatigue. This is something that people don't seem to understand. And like, so I've gone from recently living my life, you know, I've always been a skateboarder, I've been active, I've been fit, and it's gone from, I know what exhaustion is, you know, I know what a hard week at the gym and then going out and doing your work and everything else feels like, and then that kind of fatigue, and I know what chronic fatigue feels like. And the exhaustion you get from MS is not that. People don't understand. It's like, it's not something that you can mind over matter and just push through, you know, like you're hiking up a hill, you got 30 meters left, you're basically out of juice, but you can push yourself through that like that little part, and you can reach your goal. MS is not like that because it's your brain signals, you know, you just lose function. You can't push yourself further. If you try to like overwork yourself, you pay for it so much more. Like there's been times at work where I couldn't drive home. I didn't have the strength to even just put my foot on the pedal, on the clutch. You know, there's sometimes I'm pushing my hand into my leg to force my leg to even be able to get me home. I've come home from shopping groceries and have collapsed at the steps and couldn't move for an hour to even be able to get myself inside the house. It's not something. This one annoys me the most because like people don't understand how physically it pulls you down. It's you know, and there's times where I've told work I can't do it. I'm too tired. I've been in front of a customer with my legs shaking, physically about to just drop. I mean, it's not work's fault. It's more that just the lack of understanding of what this illness is really. So that's a hard thing about it. Another part is, and one thing that I suffer a lot of is my car's starting to get pretty fogged up. I was watching a seminar on MS, right? I was tuning in with a couple scientists and things about and doctors, and one lady explained it really well to me. She said that it's like you're walking through a wet cotton ball. It's like, because it's exactly what it feels like sometimes. You know, everything feels like cloudy. This is how I explained it once to, I can't remember if it was my mum or someone else. But I was walking through work, and it's not just work. I had this just the other day as well. It's like you're walking through mist, like clouds, and you're kind of confused on what's going on. Information is not staying in. Like someone could be talking to me at work, they'll be saying, such and such, go check on these people, whatever. And I'm just staring at them, and then they'll walk off, and it's all within like 3 seconds. And I'm like, what did they want? Like, it's just, I don't understand. It's just like there's this soggy cotton bowl that's just masked over everything that's happening, like your vision, it's almost dreamlike. Like you just feel very lost and a little bit confused. And there's been times at home where I've made a coffee and mum's been looking at me and I'm just there holding the coffee on an angle, spilling it everywhere. And then it's not until a couple of seconds later, you know, I'm feeling this hot coffee on me and I look down, I'm like, oh, that's happening. It's one of my symptoms as well, actually. This was a very weird one, and when I told the doctors about this, they haven't heard anyone describe this one before, because like my hot and cold senses went a bit messed up after a while. After I had I think it was my second relapse. I had a relapse, it kind of flared up a bit. This was when I was having one of the smaller treatments in between waiting for my bigger treatment, because it could only happen on certain dates. And since my multiple sclerosis was being so aggressive, they needed me to have something in the meantime, because I was just getting messed up by it, you know, lesion after lesion. And I've forgotten what I was talking about just now. I'm gonna have to check the footage real quick. Hold up. It was a symptom, right? It was like I had, with the hot and cold. So my senses were a bit messed up, you know. Hot would feel like it was cold, and it was weird. It was like flipped. But then I had this, it felt like there was a membrane like around my arm, like a membrane of air, just kind of like hovering around my arm, that was constantly warm. It just felt like there was warm air floating around it. It was very, very weird. And then this time affected like my left side of my body. So it was my left arm, and then I was getting these weird nerve, like they felt like electrical jolts running down my leg. It was very weird, and they said that they haven't heard anyone describe this membrane. It was a weird sensation. But right, so we got the fatigue, the you know, it's not normal fatigue. It's I've lived my life through normal fatigue without MS, and now I've lived it with MS, and a lot different. We've had the fog, the mental blocks. MS can also affect your emotional state, so you can become aggravated easier. You're a little bit more emotional, basically. Heat is a big factor. If I get too hot, I can start getting some of the symptoms back, like my ear thing will be more prominent. Other little symptoms I notice will come back a lot more if I get overheated. Obviously over physically worked, body just can't cope with it. Like that time when I was at work, my legs were shaking. I took 2.5 weeks off work just to recover, because the harder you go, the much longer your body needs to recuperate and repair and rest. And that's a big thing as well. Memory is a huge thing. There's the amount of information, being able to process, multitasking, retaining new information, understanding, just your whole process of taking in information and understanding what to do with it and then utilizing it. It's so much more harder now. Like I always done well in school, you know. I wasn't the best student. I wasn't always there at school either, and you know, like I had better things to do in life at that age apparently. I hated school, but I loved the study and the challenge, and you know, I was good at maths. And then I get into my electrical studies, and we're doing like, so this is when obviously I was leading up to it, and even now it would be even harder for me, I think. It was just a basic information, given it had been like 10 years since I've been at school, but you'd think you'd still have that memory there. And the other thing that upset me a lot is I lost a lot of my childhood memories. I don't remember much. Every now and then I'll have a spur of the moment where a certain memory will come back, and it'll be an awesome feeling, because it's that part of my life I can grab again. And the sad part is it's just so much of my childhood I don't remember. I don't even remember what I done yesterday half the time. So it's just that there's no retention there for memories or just new information, really. So on top of that, it's concentration, it's prioritizing, it's decision making, it's multitasking, like I just said. There's a lot that it affects. But yeah, so verbal is part of an issue. I don't know how else to put that. Oh god. But yeah, all those things are just parts of it. I'm a gamer, I love games. So if you think about it as a game, you've got your whole list of different attributes. You got your dex, your strength, your magic, your endurance, your vigor, whatever the hell. I've been playing Elden Ring a bit lately. What of it? It's like all these effects are just like different stats, basically building up on your human body, and more effects. Some affect you more than the others, and it's just how it is, you know. Your physical ability, your mental ability, your emotional state, it's all a bit on. It was pretty depressing when I first got told. I was scared, for one. My knowledge on it was pretty limited at the time. It still is. And I started like worrying about, you know, I was sitting there. I'll show you a couple of videos and pictures of when I was in hospital. I wish I documented it a lot more. Family members were telling me, hey, you should document this story. You should guide people through what you're experiencing, your hardships, and like share with everyone. I'm like, why would I do that? No one cares. Everyone's busy in their own life, and it's just how life is sometimes. Like no one cares about what the guy down the street's doing and what his hardships are. It's just how it is. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to do any of that. But I wish I had more to document now, for not me personally, but to share, to help other people. If there's a way that it can, you know, promote the illness and potentially raise more money to go into the funds and supporting and all the studies, and all the support systems in place to help people with MS that are a lot more affected than what I currently am, then great. I didn't think about that at the time. I was pretty narrow-minded. I was like, no one cares about me. But so yeah, I wish I'd document that a little bit more. So I don't have much on that story. I just got a couple random little Snapchat pictures with filters on them making me look like an old man, and yeah. So that's basically some of what I was like. I couldn't eat properly. I was the worst part is like I was sitting there and I couldn't function, but like my brain and my thought pattern was exactly the same. Nothing changed. It's like I'm still the same person. It's just that I'm super restricted, and it was pretty annoying. And I'm looking out these eyes like a window, barely looking actually, because I couldn't focus on anything and couldn't see properly. I'm just like, this is a bad time. And then like one of my only remedies, like showers were kind of like my capsule. It created like a wall of sound that didn't affect my ear nervous system for some reason, and if like sheltered out everything else. For me, I ended up having like 5 showers a day, for one, to pass the time, because hospitals are boring as hell. And it was also like this blanket around me. It made me feel better. Some of the thoughts was, I've always been a bit of an artistic person. I love art. I don't participate in it as much as I wish. Life gets in the way, work, whatever else is happening. I don't have the money or the proper space to have if I could, I would have an art studio and a gaming room, and I'll do all my videos, all my gaming, maybe have a couple of instruments and learn to play guitar or piano, and do some like language studies. I'd love to learn Japanese, and it's just hard because there's not enough time or money for any of that. I feel like I keep spitting, sorry about that. Yeah, so I was like worried about these things. I was sitting there in the hospital bed, staring out at the window. I was thinking, will I be able to draw again? Will I be able to do this or this? And I haven't drawn since, so I don't know how my drawing skills have gone, deteriorated or not. One of the things I loved doing, I didn't love it, but it was a challenge for myself, is we had an awesome view of this mountain landscape where I was in hospital. And every day, once I started getting more vision, and because we were on some steroids, they had me on some steroids at the time, trying to just sort of stabilize things until I can have a treatment in between waiting for my main treatment. There was a bunch of steps and waiting and this and that. And so one of the things I used to do was I would look at this mountain landscape, and I'd try to get my eyes to focus on one thing and like maintain looking at that one thing. And I'm trying to focus in, because everything was blurry. Like it was like short range, long range. But yeah, that was like my challenge. I'd spot this spot on the mountain. I'd try to focus in on it, and I'd try to bring the detail in. And then each time I'd try to go further and further and further. And by the end of it, once I was transported out of this hospital because I was doing better. I was getting strength back in my arms, my legs, and whatever else, and I was ready for the next step of learning to walk again and rehabilitation in a different facility, hospital, whatever. This has gone on way longer than I originally wanted. I wanted this video to be fairly short, precise, but I can't do that. I just can't do that. So what I'm going to try to do is, because my mum's a saint, she's an angel. Last year she done the May 50K and she raised a lot of money for it, and this year she's going to be doing it again, and I've subscribed to a gym, signed up, whatever you want to call it, and I'm going to try to do it as well. I don't know how I'm going to go. It's kind of intimidating, but if it does help support the fund, then awesome. Not for me, doesn't have to be for me, but for anyone else that's dealing with it, or have family members, or because it is more common than you realize. I didn't know how many people around me have suffered. It wasn't until I had MS and started talking to some more people. You know, someone down on the street where I was living asked me where I was for like all these months and time, and I told them, you know, I was in the hospital for this and this and this, and they're like, oh, our daughter has this, and even one of the nurses was like, they have 2 kids that has this, and it's crazy how many people you may not know are affected by it. Yeah, so I'm going to be doing it. I'll put all the links in the video description as well. I'll put the link for what my mum's using to have the donations. I'll just put it all towards, I'll just link mine with hers, or however you can do that. I'll just, all of it can go to her one link or whatever, and go from there. But yeah, so I'll try to document it a bit and just watch myself completely be exhausted and look haggard as hell. I mean, so yeah, it'll be a good challenge, and I think by the end of it I'll feel pretty good about it all. So sorry I didn't try to maintain camera eye contact. It feels awkward. I look in every other direction. Even in real life conversations, I don't like looking at people in the eyes. It makes me feel uncomfortable. I'm socially awkward. It's an uncomfortable situation for me, so that's why I look around everywhere. I can't even maintain on topic on this. Right, yeah, all of it in the description. Thanks for watching. Spread the story, spread your story, and support MS funds. It was May 50K. Yeah. And I'm back just like that. I was driving home and I'm like, is there anything I forgot to talk about? And yeah, there was. I really should have scripted this whole video. This was more like, I woke up this morning and I'm like, I should do a video touching on MS, and here I am. Yeah, I was on the way home. I'm like, is there anything I missed? And I was like, yeah, I forgot to thank all my friends and family that have pretty much been the anchor through all this. Like when I was down in hospital, they all pulled together money to help mum with accommodation and to buy anything for me if I needed, and they've been nothing but supportive through all of this. Like, we joke around about it. We kind of like we take the piss about me having MS, because this is just how me and my friends are. If you're gonna take stuff serious, is like, what's the point? Is joke about it, have fun with it. We're constantly joking about it. When we got out, when I got out of hospital officially and was allowed to mingle and be all social and stuff, we went out to a restaurant, and the whole night we were just basically ripping into how I have MS, and people around us were probably thinking, what heartless people these are. You know, they're saying such mean, terrible things about this disability, and it was like, nah, it's cool. I have MS. We're allowed to talk shit about it, because that's how we get through with it. Some of my friends in another state that I used to live in, some of my friends from the state I'm in now went and visited them recently, and so I haven't been over there since I got diagnosed, and they were like, so what's it like now that Jake's got MS? And my cousin's like, oh, we just take the piss out of him. We just like, they're like, whoa. Everyone's got their method, and yeah, I'm not too worked up about the fact that I have MS. It's just another thing that I've woken up and had. It's you deal with it. This video, I might as well make a movie by this stage. So yeah, I think that covers about everything I wanted to talk about. I hope. If not, check the comment section, the description, or whatever else. Yeah. Thanks again, and ciao for now.